Yeah, those are the chords.
G'day everyone, welcome back. Just with the NRL season in full swing, obviously, and on the back of us doing our Warriors all time last week, we actually thought it'd be a good opportunity to pull out a New Zealand Kiwis all time, with obviously the Kiwis having some pretty star-studded players over the years that haven't featured for the Warriors. So we thought we'd do
Yep.
that. And yeah, Willie, anything from you before we start?
Yeah, no, like you say, it's just an idea from Fetu from Northland, who
Yeah.
said, yeah, really just enjoying the league being back on. Would you mind giving us your Kiwis all time team? So that
Mm.
thank you for the shout out, and hopefully that you'll enjoy this video. Hopefully you'll like and subscribe to this one.
Yeah, cheers, Fetu. That's awesome. Sweet. So,
Just show the listeners that we do actually pay attention to what you say. So
absolutely,
yeah.
yeah. Um, alrighty. Would you like to start with your back three? And I'll go with mine.
Yeah, back three. So I've gone for, and this was quite hard to find balance to these, the back, to our backs. So I've gone for Rog, even though he probably played more on the wing, but
Yeah.
could play fullback, obviously, because the two wingers for me are pretty obvious, and that has to be Manu and Jason Nightingale, just two of the
Mm,
greats. So
yeah. Yes. Well, that's the exact same one as mine. Unsurprisingly, I think, as you say, wingers pick themselves. Manu's the top Kiwi try scorer of all time. Even though he had a mistake in him, he was obviously still really, really
yeah,
effective. Won a World Cup and multiple Four Nations. And then
yeah,
Jason Nightingale is the same. He was obviously part of all those winning teams, and he was, one of the most consistent players in the NRL for his whole career. He was incredible,
yeah.
and just awesome for the Kiwis. So yeah,
Does
that's obviously your
Manu's
way.
off-field antics disregard his legacy,
Yeah, it does a bit, I reckon.
or does it enhance?
No,
What
I
What do
think
you think?
I think like obviously with some of the things that you get up to, it probably enhances it for you. But I think for me,
Oh, the
yeah,
tries
just
are still on the board though. That's
yeah,
what
the
they
tries are
say.
still there,
Yeah,
but I just
yeah,
it does a bit. But
yeah, yeah,
let's just say when the next gun winger comes through, Gypsy Nightingale will be the one that's still on my team. Anyway, I think
yeah.
though, based on their ability, and then yeah,
Okay.
Roger at fullback. He was fullback for a number of years and was awesome there. So yeah,
Yeah.
to your centers.
No. Sure. Centers. I've gone for Joey Manu, who I was tossing up. I could have put him at fullback, because obviously he won his World Player of the Year
Yeah,
as a fullback in that World Cup where he was just absolutely mental running for 300 meters a game.
yeah.
So could have gone him, but put him at centre and gone for just one of my favourites here. The centre is Sean Kenny-Dow. I know a lot of probably your old timers, your geriatrics that are sitting in the rocking chairs at the retirement homes would probably say like, "What about your Nigel Vanganas and your characters like that?" Sorry, can't really comment. Didn't watch them, so yeah. Cheers.
Yeah, no, sorry, you broke up there for a wee bit. But yeah, big shout out to Sean Kenny Dow. He's obviously he was incredible, very very close to making my side, and yeah, I like how you said the Nigel Bunganas for the old timers because yeah, there'll be some
Yeah,
pretty upset people that he's not neither of ours. But I've gone Joe Manu as well. Obviously, I think Joe Manu is probably close to our best centre of all time now. But alongside him, I've actually gone Dean Farre, who was just awesome. I thought just mainly defensively, he used to always have to defend Greg Inglis, and he could just lock Greg Inglis up more than any other player. He was a
yeah.
perfect centre, I reckon. Dean Farre, super consistent, just did everything you need. So
Hmm.
yeah, I've done him for my other centre.
No,
Onto you
absolutely.
for your halves.
Yeah, the halves is a hard one here.
Yeah.
And the halves have gone for Benji at six and Sean Johnson at seven there. Probably a bit tough to leave out Stacey Jones for you old timers out there again, but I've just gone for purely what I saw them do for us against in big tournaments and stuff like that. Sean Johnson obviously has some big highlights in some big games in tournaments like that. And Benji the same in the World Cup. So I've given those two the nod there.
Yeah, I've gone a little bit controversial here. I've gone Benji as well. I think he's him and Mannering are our two best Kiwis of all time, in my opinion. So I've got Benji there at 6, but I've actually gone Jerome Hughes at 7. I know that Sean Johnson's done more in the Kiwis jersey, but yeah, I don't know. I think that Hughes as a player is a bit more complete than Johnson, and I can see him overtaking him in the Kiwis jersey, hopefully, if he gets a World Cup or something. So, very controversial. Certainly not going to tell anyone they're
Mm,
wrong putting SJ in over Hughesy, but I've done Hughesy over
yeah.
SJ at 7.
Okay.
I'm also thinking about that as a combo. Benji
Yeah.
and Jerome Hughes, or that would have done things, I reckon. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, completely fair. That's all right. Next, I've gone for Ruben Wikipedia and Jesse Bromwich as my two front rows, my two starting front rows there. I think Wiki obviously speaks for himself, just an absolute nutcase of a
Yeah.
and Jesse Bromwich is one of our most consistent players and just a leader of just uh
A
beast
leader
forward
of men.
packs. Yeah,
Yeah.
leader of men. Also good on a night out in Canberra, as they say.
Yeah.
So yeah, he those are my two front rows. How about yourself?
Yeah, I've gone for a bit of a bout. I've done this on purpose. I've got Wiki on my bench because I want to rip him off the bench with another person. So I'll talk about that shortly. But so I've just gone Fisher Harris and Bromwich to get the hard minutes and the first 25 out the way.
Hmm.
So yeah, Fisher Harris and Bromwich, just the grinding part of the game. That's them. Win the ruck
Yeah,
with those two. Yeah.
yeah. No, completely fair. Edges, I've gone for as much as I'm not really a fan of what his character's like, I think hard to go past Sonny Bill for just what a
Mm,
kind of freak he was and kind of just an absolute rugby league superstar. So it's kind of hard
mm,
not to have him in there. And I've gone for Frankie Pritchard as the other
mm,
one. Just one
yeah.
of my favourites watching Frankie Pritchard.
Mm,
He was a bit of a stalwart for us as well. Notched up quite a few games, almost got around that 30 gamer. So
yeah. Mm,
that's the loyalty that kind of deserves getting rewarded.
yeah.
Yeah, just a beast as well.
Mm. Yeah, no, I've gone Frank Pritchard as well on one edge, and I've actually gone Simon Mannering on the other edge because I want someone at lock. So, um,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, Mannering and Pritchard. You can't go wrong with that one.
Yeah. No, that completely agree. But I've gone for Mannering at lock there.
Yeah,
Just like him, just mopping up the middle, making
yeah.
tackles. But I can see that you're probably going for a Toy Harris at 13, maybe.
No, no way, man.
No,
Jeremy Smith.
no.
You're forgetting one of the
Oh,
greats. Jeremy Smith.
true. How could
Yeah,
I forget? Yeah,
yeah. It is. I mean, it's been a while, so it's fair enough. But yeah,
yeah,
Jeremy Smith. Oh, this guy was fucking mental. What a player! Just
yeah,
the
yeah,
perfect lock. He was a bit like Kiwi Paul Gallen, I reckon. Like
yeah,
did everything at 100%. Gun defender, gun ball runner, grub, just a fucking weapon. Such a big
yeah,
reason why we won that World Cup final. Just such a gun for the and obviously he played for a few teams, but mainly for the Dragons. He was a big part of their premiership win in 2010 as well. So
yeah.
um, proper player Jeremy Smith had to have him in there. We obviously didn't touch on a hooker, but we're obviously assuming that we've both gone for Bully
Isaac
Luke.
Luke.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
yeah,
course, Isaac Luke at hooker.
yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, yeah. How could we
Yeah.
forget? But yeah,
But
no one
there's no
else really even comes close.
no way.
Especially in the Kiwi jersey.
No.
The amount of games he played and how much of a weapon he was, it's going to be very hard for anyone to even surpass him.
Yeah. Slate to your
Yeah.
bench.
My bench, I've just gone full bully, full size here. I'm
Yeah.
not operating any kind of number 14. I'm going for pure pack
Yeah.
abuse.
Yeah.
So I'm going for James Fisher Harris, Marty Tapau,
Yeah.
just him and the Kiwis doing
Oh.
the slitting throat emojis.
Yeah.
It's just the most terrifying thing all time.
Yeah.
Then gone for Greg Eastwood.
Yeah.
How can you not love a Greg Eastwood in a Kiwis jersey? Just
Yeah.
as a unit of guy. And then I've gone for Fui Fui Moi Moi, just for just pure
Yeah.
aggression.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that bench. You've done similar to what I've done, but I've got a bit more of the more recent ones. So I have got a 14 there too, rather than just ripping on four props like you, which is what
What
I
was
like.
that? Sorry, you just cut out a tiny bit. What did you say there?
I was saying I have got a 14, as opposed to
Oh, yeah.
just running four props off the bench like you. Just to really
Nah, one back
damage.
row, one back row.
Yeah, yeah. But so 14 for me, Lance O'Hara. I can't. I just think you have to have him in a
Yeah,
Kiwis all the time. He could be at fullback
yeah,
or 14. He's just such a fucking machine. So he can cover a few positions. I've gone
yeah.
my reserve props, my reserve middle. So I've gone Wiki and a Sofa Solomona because I just would like to see these two operate together. I just think,
Yeah,
imagine a
yeah,
tired pack and those two come off the bench. Fuck,
yeah,
the, you'd be wishing Spencer Lee was running at you off kickoffs if you
yeah,
saw that.
yeah,
And then in the 17 jersey, I've gone Joe Tarpany, and because
yeah.
he can cover the edge, 13 and prop, and then again
No, that is fair.
bring him on with those other two.
Yeah.
Just
I
that's
would
some
love to. I would love to see a field where you can put a Safa Solomona,
yeah
2014 Marty Tafau, and a
yeah
Ruben Wiki in there as well. That
yeah
is just high knees galore. Just
yeah.
absolute. Yeah, yeah. That
Mm.
would terrify the absolute living daylights out of me. But
Oh fuck
no,
yeah yeah
you've got a more well-rounded bench than my just
yeah.
pure
But I'm
assault
just
of
thinking like
props.
yeah, mine is more like so Fisher Harris, Bromwich, and Jeremy Smith get through your grinding minutes, and then you bring Tarpany, Asafa Solomona, and Wiki on.
Mm.
God, the Aussies won't
Yeah.
like that. So
Nah,
um,
nah.
yeah. But yeah, so let us know your Kiwis all the time. There's obviously a lot of variations. We've obviously left out quite a few massive name players because of the nature of
Our age.
how many good players have played for the Kiwis. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, we're obviously gonna get DM'd hopefully, and people can let us know. Anything from you before we wrap her up?
Um. Oh, no, it's hard to say. I mean, obviously, yeah, like you say, so many players miss out there, but yeah.
Mm.
Hopefully, this list doesn't change. Oh no, we'll probably get quite a lot of change in the next few years, won't we? Looking like we've got quite a lot of
Yeah,
strong Kiwis coming through.
yeah, maybe like a Seb Chris might make it.
Yeah, okay, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
If someone sends him some DMs threatening Manny and Diego,
get your
then
fucking Seb
Neanderthal
Chris
might
disrespect
yeah
out of
might
the
get the tries
podcast. We're
up.
not having it.
Yeah, exactly,
Oh,
exactly.
nah, we're gonna get him on the show. Actually, I'm gonna send him a message after this. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just start a campfire and he might flock to us. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. All right, cheers, New Zealand. Thanks for watching our Kiwis all the time, and we'll see you on the next one.